Session 5 video journal. Hello, hello. This is great because this session was very good to be able to get away from something that I was very uncomfortable with in this final, which ma- I wouldn't say made me extremely uncomfortable. It was just something that was a challenge for me. And being able to take a step back from the assignment and do a video journal and refocus on the Lord, even though it is about failure and uh, and knowing how to fail and being more Christ-like in your failures, it refreshed me and rejuvenated me because I feel like this class has definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone, which was great. So yeah, let's tackle these three questions. First question: explain the causes of failure. They in this book they really touch on just three types of failure: failure in relationship, failure by commission, and failure by omission. Each of those, I think, stem from not knowing and understanding the Lord. It gives um, quite a few examples of different aspects. The first one, failure in relationships. Many leaders fail because they have an improper relationship with the Lord. It actually says with God. So that's very true. Knowing how to treat people, knowing how to love people, knowing how to honor people is something that I think is lost in today's society. So, uh, the causes of failure would be the biggest cause of failure, in my opinion, would be not having the right relationship with the Lord and following His teachings. Question number 2: outline biblical guidelines for turning failure into success. This was really cool because it used the story of Jonah. For those of us who understand Jonah and understand the fact that he really didn't want to do it, it wasn't that he wasn't qualified to do it. It wasn't that he wasn't prepared, or he just didn't want to do it. And so he literally went the other way. And the Lord obviously brought him back through certain circumstances. And it gives the 4 R's, which is revealing, repenting, returning, and restoring. Revealing things uh, you you've the cause of your failure, which obviously is the relationship with the Lord not being where it should be, and we know that through Jonah's story. He realizes that it's his issue. He literally throws himself in the water and gets swallowed by a fish, and then the Lord leaves him in the belly for a while, and he repents, and then the whale spits him up, and he returns, and then he restores. So he returns to his original calling, and then he restores it by doing an excellent job preaching to Nineveh. So it's those 4 R's really, to me, summarizing those 4 R's. And the way that I would describe it is humbling yourself before the Lord, understanding that it's not anybody else's issue but yours. Obviously, there are many types of relationships, but I find myself in my marriage specifically having to do this just because a lot of the time, no matter what, there's something that you can improve on, and that's something that I've had to learn throughout the years of being married. Is yes, there's issues. Yes, there's things that need to be worked out, but you can't start working on things as a couple until you work yourself out. And so, humbling yourself and saying, I did something wrong. Lord, show me. Hey, honey, I'm so sorry for doing this. Will you forgive me? And then returning, helping out, however, doing whatever it is to get the tasks done, and then continually doing that. So returning time after time to do it is ideal. And then contrast society's perspective on success from those of a biblical worldview. The nice thing about this book is it just lays it out, or this reading, it lays it out. The goal of a Christian is to become more Christ-like. That does not mean step on people's toes. That does not mean do whatever you need to do to make yourself successful. It's make those people around you successful, serve them, love them the way that Christ did, which is not a well received idea in today's society. Today's society is kick, scream, pull, prod, do whatever you need to do to make yourself successful, and it doesn't matter who you hurt or what you do, as long as you make yourself successful. When in all actuality, God wants us all to do it together. He knows we all have different skill sets, and He wants us to acknowledge that everybody has those different skill sets, and you'll need all of those people to be successful. But be successful as a people, as a church, as a community. So those are the three questions that we have today or this week. I appreciated them. Appreciated the time to kind of get away from this whole intimidating process, and it was fun. Have a good night.